People were saying that Trump died.
Oh, that was false news though, right?
It was false news now.
Okay.
So he came out and said, I don't know what these guys are talking about, fake news.
How did you find out over the weekend that you were dead?
Well, it's fake news. No, I was very active over the weekend. They also knew I went out to visit some people at the club that I own.
But what was interesting, during the time it was happening, there was images of him with a huge bruise on his hand.
Yeah.
Now, a week before Queen Elizabeth died, she had the same bruise.
Oh.
And then there was a whole hiatus from him where he didn't have any bookings for appearances. People were speculating, oh, this guy passed away. And the same thing happened to the Queen. Also, during that time of the hiatus, they posted a picture of him at a golf course. But the picture to show that, oh, he's still alive, he's still healthy.
AI?
It wasn't AI. It was actually an old photo. People reverse image searched it and it was like, yeah, it's not it. The thing is though, did you know they used to actually deadass have body doubles of important world leaders just so they can keep them safe? Because putting your guy out in the front lines, open to every danger in the world, you would want to just limit the risk. So I wouldn't be surprised if the pictures of the bruised hand, that wasn't him. That was his clone that was already malfunctioning.
A lot of people wondering, why does this impossible meat taste so much like meat? And it is a conspiracy theory, and I know you're a theorist, that there may be human meat.
Well, I know this. They're telling us that we should start eating the bodies of dead people when they die. And Washington State this year legalized taking dead bodies and using it for fertilizer on our food.
I ain't going for that. I ain't going for that at all. But
I swear to God, that's happening.
I know that's what they said. I figured that's what they said. Then we talked about how the media is,
Washington State legalized using people to feed people, but it's done by putting it on the crops.
There's no way to rationalize cannibalism.
See, my thing is, if they already poison us through foods, vaccines, and all this other crazy stuff, what makes us think that them feeding us human meat is actually far-fetched?
I have a friend of mine. He smoked salvia on a podcast and went into a dark hole. And he said he lived a whole nother life. He lived another life. He had relationships. He had jobs. Didn't he say he lived underwater? Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
And then he came back. That's how crazy the mind is. And you see him coming back. He's like, what? What happened? And this was right here. What's that?
When he was coming back, he was struggling to breathe air because he learned to breathe underwater.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that sounds insane. It sounds insane. But this guy was saying that he was there for like months. Oh, like 6 months. That he lived a life. He had relationships. He had jobs. I believe it. And that was his life for 6 months. Then all of a sudden he came back. Like, I think there might be neighboring dimensions where time moves differently and you can access them through psychedelics.
Yes.
I think that's possible.
What it's going on right now, we're just not tapped in.
Exactly.
I was talking to my buddy Fee about this, and he brought it up. He was like, it's going on right now.
Yeah.
You know, like those things you see, we're just not tapped into it.
Yeah.
Elon Musk would open demonic portals as a child, and he had evil pitch-black eyes when he was born. According to his childhood babysitter Rosemary, she said Elon's mother told her he wasn't the Antichrist, but that his role would be to, quote, present the mark, which the babysitter believes refers to Neuralink. She also alleged that his real name is El Elyon, a figure that Lawrence Gardner equates to Ahriman, the being whom Rudolf Steiner described as aiming to increase humanity's materialistic and robotic nature, sever the connection to the soul, merge humanity with machines, and use AI to bring other beings into the world. Funnily enough, Elon Musk himself stated in a 2014 Bloomberg interview that he is, quote, summoning the demon with artificial intelligence. This all sounds wild until you hear Montauk whistleblower Arkham Ra's testimony, where he claims to have witnessed Elon Musk and his mother consuming at the Mothers of Darkness Castle in Belgium, a location where both Alondra Markman and Arizona Wilder have independently said they were forced to perform satanic rituals for elite bloodline families.
Did you have the deadly kissing bug on your bingo card for 2025? Why do I ask? Because experts are now warning that the deadly kissing bug infestation from Latin America is now becoming an epidemic in at least 32 states in the US. Right now, it's currently in the southeast, but quickly migrating to the north. This is what it looks like, similar to a tick. So if you come across this, stand clear and get as far away as you can. This will give you the perspective of the actual size of a kissing bug. It's just a bit bigger than a penny. Experts are warning about the hidden threat. Up to 300,000 of these bugs may already be in the US, carrying an undiagnosed Chagas disease. It's silent until it causes heart failure and even sudden death. Here's a look at them in different stages. The one thing that happens is once they bite you, you become infected with the parasite. That could lead to heart failure or even death if untreated. So take a good look at these insects. The CDC has also confirmed that the dangerous kissing bug is starting to spread. So 2025 just continues to get better and better. Be on the lookout for the kissing bug. Be careful, beware, and spread the word about this bug. Let me know your thoughts about it in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
If we think 2025 has been crazy, I feel like 2026 is going to be way worse.
Bro, police just found a man living in the crawl space underneath someone's home in Portland, Oregon. And what this brother was doing was way beyond squatting. He was standing 10 toes down. He had a bed, string up lights, televisions, chargers, and even a freaking PS5 all plugged into the condo's power source. Through an extension, he ran through their vent. You know what's even crazier? Police were called to this property after a witness reported seeing a man who was not known as a resident parking his car and walking towards the back of one of the buildings. Bro had a freaking car. And it somehow gets even crazier because when police arrived, they discovered that the owner's keys, which unlocked the small door opening, didn't work. That's because this guy, yes, changed the locks on their doors. Now, when police broke through the door, they discovered a 40-year-old man named Benaiman Bakur just chilling inside. A freaking meth pipe was also found in the space. So next time you hear a strange noise coming from your attic or crawl space, it could be nothing. Or it could be a 40-year-old man playing Fortnite.
It just now came to my attention that we've never checked our attic since we moved in. Takes a lot of balls to do something like this, bro. I'm scared to go inside of another person's house.
There's a conspiracy theory that claims that we're already dead, and the evidence comes from science. There are two things that are documented to happen when someone clinically dies. The first is that your entire life will flash before your eyes, and the second is that your brain keeps working 7 minutes after your body is gone. And we've literally recorded the brain still firing after death, actively creating memories. So for 7 minutes, we're in this dreamlike state where we're reliving our entire life. And according to this guy you may have heard of, Albert Einstein, time is relative. But what does that actually mean? This is suggesting that 7 minutes in the real world could feel like 100 years in the dream state. Kind of like when you fall asleep, you dream an entire movie, then wake up 5 minutes later. Now here's where it gets weird. Some people believe that we all died in 2012. That's when the Mayan calendar predicted the end of the world. And remember, this is all just for fun. This is just a conspiracy theory. This theory suggests that instead of an apocalypse, we collectively slipped into this 7-minute brain echo. And this right here, right now, is our dream. This is us reliving our memories. And little time glitches, little weird things like the Mandela effects, or like deja vu, or feeling like the world is off, those are just cracks in the memory trying to keep itself stitched together. So this theory is saying that that would mean that the world did end and we just haven't accepted it yet. Do you think we're 7 minutes into the afterlife? You can come over here for longer freaky videos.
Breaking news! Everybody in the government is doing illegal shit. That's right, Rebecca, and nobody will be held accountable for any of it. More at 7.
If you receive this reel in your feed, relax, you're fine for now. However, if you got this via a friend, oh boy, you're in trouble. I am currently sending your coordinates to Palantir, and a drone will be en route to your house. If you know what I mean, send $6 gazillion to Israel or else.
Now show me the AI version.
What up, everybody? It's Angel Dust. Why does America look like shit? Well, we want it to look like shit. We want it to feel like shit to live in, and we do it on purpose. This is how we sell you consumerism. When scientists wanted to study addiction in the 1970s, they did a bunch of experiments giving rats the option to either have heroin water or have normal water. And of course, all the rats were addicted to the heroin water. Until they learned that in an environment with healthy social relationships, other rats, plenty of things to do, plenty of food, the rats never picked the heroin. Because if you were surrounded by nature and other people and healthy relationships and walkable communities and so on, you wouldn't form a relationship with Starbucks. You wouldn't form a relationship with Target. You wouldn't constantly use these things as this comfort blanket of, well, everything sucks, but at least I can go do this. At least I can pay for this. Like a tiny sliver of experience. And this is why capitalism is so exacerbated in America. Because we're a young country, we don't have culture. We don't have history. We're not like Europe or Asia. You are literally founded on slavery, mass integration, and just a melting pot of all these different people. Right? And here's the kicker. We taught you all to hate each other for your differences. Because if you hate the people you're in prison with, you'll never break out. Peace, blessings, shine on.
I genuinely wonder how that would play out. If every prison inmate would just side with each other, would they actually be able to escape? But then asking something like that would also make you have to ask the question, if millions or even hundreds of thousands of us stood up to the government, would we make it or would we get far?
Because for all of the emotional outrage that he causes when he says the words like the Jewish media, I mean, the media is kind of controlled by a lot of Jewish people.
It's crazy how it's anti-Semitic to say something even if it's true.
Vladimir Putin is talking about releasing what actually happened on 9/11? But I thought we already knew what happened. I guess not. Vladimir Putin is talking about releasing information about 9/11. And I guess it's far worse than even the conspiracies we've heard about it. Oh, goody. Could it be worse, though? I guess so.
But he's not just going to stop there. Vladimir also wants to release information about our food chain supply. Okay. Apparently, our food could be a lot worse than we've ever thought so. Oh, goody. Is our food real? Is it not real? Now, apparently, the proof he has for both situations is undeniable, including satellite images of what actually transpired on 9/11. Oh, boy.
Speed went to China, and now everyone's going crazy. Wow, look at China, they're living in the future. Well, you shouldn't be surprised at all, because the last time I checked, China isn't sending billions to Ukraine and Israel. While America is funding wars that are not ours, China is funding China. That's the key difference.
The reason they tell us the truth in movies and TV shows is because it's tell-a-vision. They're telling us what they're going to do in the future. That's why it's called television programming. How am I just now realizing this?
Yo, not to freak you guys out, but Peter Thiel and the elites are conspiring to replace every single job in the world with AI by 2030, meaning you have at max about 4 years to get rich before they make it impossible to make money forever. Have a good day, though.
Not to freak me out, huh? This is your sign to lock in.
The different places that were involved in MKUltra, one was Disney, and I was taken to Disney World in Florida. They have a very sophisticated setup in the underground or the underworld of Disney World, where mind control programming occurs.
Walt Disney's stories were intentionally crafted using his thorough understanding of occultism as he climbed the ranks of masonry and made connections which laid the foundations of the Disney empire. Located underneath the surface are tunnels or utility corridors, which can be accessed through certain unmarked doors located in various shops, restaurants, and attractions. Transcripts document the close relationship between Walt Disney and FBI Director Edgar Hoover as they correspond about how to bring the FBI's influence into children's TV shows such as the Mickey Mouse Club. The correlation between Disney child stars and drug addiction, crime, mental breakdowns, and dissociative behavior are merely products of the victimization they endured while being subject to Hollywood's elite producers and handlers.
Do you know who this is?
Vampire, I don't know.
So he has wings and there's a chain on his ankle and he has a crown. Obviously, Lucifer, Satan.
I saw the chain. I was like, yeah.
Right? Now check this out. What foot is this? I know you've seen this statue before.
Is that the one in...
There's a chain and a foot. That's the foot of the Statue of Liberty.
Oh,
yeah.
I heard about this.
Now this statue, there's 7 points on his
I
crown,
didn't
right?
see this.
Statue of Liberty has 7 points on its crown.
No.
Now go back to the statue. What's by its feet? An apple. Where is the Statue of Liberty? The Big Apple. New York City. What do they call New York City? The Big Apple, fam. Why are they praising the Statue of Liberty, which is literally Lucifer? You know why it's holding a torch?
Why?
Because Lucifer was the angel of light before.
Yeah.
It's right in front of us too. Oh, that's kind of fun. But where's the most money made? Wall Street.
Oh, Wall Street.
Where's that? It's the Big Apple, fam. And New York is the home of Jay-Z. Take it a step further. Ready? An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Ready? Where did that happen in New York? The healthcare thing. Oh! no. That's a stretch. But...
Hey, stop. Sorry to interrupt your morning dump. But did you hear the news? All right, so I got your attention. All day, all you're going to see if you're in North America are pictures of that poor Ukrainian woman on the bus being murdered by the psychopath, okay? And I'm convinced now it's like a psyop, okay? I'm telling you, if my entire feed is littered with that shit, it's all I see, and it's going to be all you see. Because they don't want you to see this shit happening around the world, okay? Parliament buildings in Indonesia on fire, people protesting. Parliament buildings in Nepal on fire, people protesting. Serbia, they've been protesting for months. Clashes in the streets of France a day after their entire parliament, their government just fell again for like the 4th time this year. They want us fighting over race. They want us fighting with each other rather than turning our anger and frustration on the people who deserve it, corrupt politicians.
The people who call themselves but are not, as Jesus said, they did not speak Hebrew. They spoke Yiddish. They come from Eastern Europe primarily. They have no blood ties to the Holy Land. That is why they've outlawed DNA testing in Israel.
Yeah, I've looked up the DNA test. They basically have none.
It would prove that they have no claim or connection to this land. They actually come from Eastern Europe.
Guys, scientists think that they have actually just solved the entire mystery of the Bermuda Triangle, and the truth might actually be scarier than aliens. So for decades now, people have obviously thought that the Bermuda Triangle was a supernatural zone on the planet that just couldn't be explained. But this new study is saying that the truth is somehow worse. So an ocean scientist from the University of Southampton just recreated what might have happened to the USS Cyclops. If you don't know what that is, that was the ship that vanished with 309 people on board back in 1918. And he's saying that this is not aliens and it is not portals, it's waves, but not just any waves. Dude, they are calling these rogue waves. They're insane walls of water that reach over 100 feet tall like a skyscraper coming at you at full speed. They're saying that these waves happen whenever multiple storm systems collide and then the ocean basically creates a monster. In a bunch of different lab tests, they showed that these waves could actually lift an entire ship up at both ends and snap it in half in just minutes. They're saying that these waves are so insanely sudden and so massive that even modern ships and planes might not survive them. These scientists are basically saying that the Bermuda Triangle might just be one of the most dangerous places on Earth where storms collide. All of the aliens and conspiracy theory stuff is obviously insane, but these scientists are actually thinking that this is the answer to the entire mystery. I want to know if you think the Bermuda Triangle conspiracies are real, or do you think this is the answer?
I mean, we've seen how big tsunamis can get on shore. Just imagine how big they get when they're out there in the middle of nowhere.
Forget Jeffrey Dahmer, this Beetle's the real cannibal. Actually, I would need to be a beetle for this to be cannibalism. So I guess that just makes me tonight's appetizer. And the worst part, I let him. I literally offered my finger as a sacrifice, hoping he'd spare the rest of me. This fella spent his entire life eating wood, so slicing through flesh, no problem whatsoever. Alright, so now that he had a taste, I hope we're even. And after giving him the finger, literally, I truly thought that was enough to satisfy him. You know, like a sample at Costco. Moments after letting him go, I realized I made a huge mistake. He had that look on his face like one bite wasn't enough. And before I could recapture him, it was already too late. That first bite hit him like nicotine. Now he's back tweaking harder than a teenager who dropped her vape in the toilet.
You bit my finger. Ow.
And after he flew back and bit my finger once again, he came in hot, going straight for the jugular this time. Buddy's like, I don't want the finger food anymore. I want the main course. Houdini the Beetle here kept disappearing and reappearing out of nowhere.
Ah, shit. Ow. Ow.
And now it seems the Beetle's more addicted to me than Epstein is with little children.
Mr. President, this is a photograph of the alien from the movie Alien. This is what you could end up looking like if you eat some of the raw, frozen shrimp being sent to the United States by other countries. If you eat it, how could you end up looking like the alien in the Alien? Because the shrimp was radioactive. I kid you not. It had a radioactive isotope in it called cesium-137. It'll kill you. Even if it doesn't turn you into the alien if you eat this stuff, I guarantee you'll grow an extra ear.
And he probably genuinely believes that. Bless his heart.
The people who were fighting, when they were fighting in these wars, they were fighting for these buildings. Like, these buildings had been around for such a long period of time, and different people would inhabit them or take them, and then the people around them would fight them for them. And it just blew my mind because I found these pictures of castles where they just have moats and all kinds of things around them. And now they don't have any of that. And I started thinking through each fight or war or whatever it was of these different people. Then all of a sudden things kind of got broken down. But it really started to make me question everything. And then I found one book which kind of blew my mind, The Boy's Book of Airships. And they were explaining flight in 1783. But flight was not displayed until about 1901 with the World Fair. So it's made me start to realize that a lot of stuff goes back a lot farther. There's nothing new under the sun. And the more I would explore this topic and just kind of, just pick one, like flight or materials, whatever, nothing added up. And I realized that because these buildings, when you walk into them, I went into a couple cathedrals in New York City. When you walk into them, they touch your soul. It's very hard to explain, but you get goosebumps and you can feel this building. And I found footage from that building from 1899.
The different places that were involved in MK Ultra, one was Disney, and I was taken to Disney World in Florida. They have a very sophisticated setup in the underground or the underworld of Disney World where mind control programming occurs.
Walt Disney's stories were intentionally crafted using his thorough understanding of occultism as he climbed the ranks of masonry and made connections which laid the foundations of the Disney empire. Located underneath the surface are tunnels or utility corridors, which can be accessed through certain unmarked doors located in various shops, restaurants, and attractions. Transcripts document the close relationship between Walt Disney and FBI Director Edgar Hoover as they correspond about how to bring the FBI's influence into children's TV shows such as the Mickey Mouse Club. The correlation between Disney child stars and drug addiction, crime, mental breakdowns, and dissociative behavior are merely products of the victimization they endured while being subject to Hollywood's elite producers and handlers.
I mean, everybody has to have a talent, right?
Coming around? Oh, yeah. Oh! Good Lord, did you break it? What happened? Did you throw the rod in? What the? Oh, the rod?
Damn, you would have thought there would have been some blood or something. This might be taking out more than just mosquitoes.
Everything in here has been taken from some place where people are either killed or maimed or so many ways. So it's tragic for me, to even go in. People are very, very interested in the museum. And there's some people that are afraid to even go in. Right here is a conjuring mirror. Everything and anything in here we have investigated. Don't ever touch anything. And if you do, let me know. This is the worst thing in here. It's that doll. I'm not gonna stare at it though.
And that's the one that's sort of depicted a little bit in this movie, correct?
Yes, it is. Yeah. That's the Annabelle doll.
I'm glad they didn't use the movie Annabelle doll, because that shit's scarier than the real one.
Wouldn't it be crazy if this subhuman murdering piece of shite had said that, he said this back in January, this is in court documents, that someone had fed him substances which were controlling when he ate, talked, and walked? K-Ultra. Potentially. Wouldn't it also be crazy if 16 candidates in the German elections have died over the last month? A lot of them from right-wing parties. What the fuck? Wouldn't it be crazy if NASA confirms that on September 10th, a 100-foot asteroid might hit Earth? That's new. That's fun. Wouldn't it be crazy if an Irishman was arrested in Britain for making posts about trannies or something? What the fuck? George Orwell was British, by the way. What are you doing in the UK? Shameful. Wouldn't it be crazy if Turkey just banned social media as well? I told you, it's gonna happen soon. Enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, that whole thing was tragic, but dude, what the hell is going on around the world? Oh great, more of these. They take down websites like LiveLeak and bestgore.com, which I'm when I was younger, I would have probably been more into those types of websites. But now, I don't really care for them. But the fact that we still see murders and just drone strikes and all these people dying on Instagram, but they take down that website is very crazy.
Where you start to figure out everything they told you about World War II was a lie. Then you figure out that Hitler had Jews in his military. Was it really 6 million? Were the gas chambers real? The door opens from the inside. These chimneys were built after the Russians took over. Wait, a lot of them died from typhus? Now you're really starting to get into fucking craziness. Then you find out about the Havar Agreement, that he allowed the Jews to leave Nazi Germany peacefully with all their resources intact. Then you start to question, wait, did he really hate them as much as they say? He let them leave with all their resources almost.
Everybody knows history is written by the winners, so they probably made it seem way more worse than what it really was.
Ernest Hirschfeld, an atheist Jew, was the first homosexual and transsexual advocate of the 20th century, and also performed the first sex reassignment surgery. Karl M. Bayer, a Zionist Jew born in Germany, was the first female-to-male transgender surgery. Back in the United States, all the major lobbying organizations for transgenderism and child gender confusion is done by, you guessed it, God's not-so-chosen people. National Center for Transgender Equality, founded by Mara Keisling, a Jew. Transgender Legal Defense and Education Fund, founded by Gillian Weiss and Michael Silverman, both Jews. GLSEN, or Gay, Lesbian, and Straight Education Network, directed by Eliza Bayard, a Jew. TSER, Trans Student Educational Resources, founded by Eli Ehrlich. And Sylvia Rivera Law Project, a legal aid organization that advocates trans rights, founded by trans activist Dean Spade, both of which are Jews.
Oh my god. Go, run, run. Whoa.
Counting or not counting gang violence?
What the
You guys okay? Okay, love you. Be safe. Okay, be safe.
Apparently there's been a shooting. I don't know who's been shot. We are here live at Utah Valley State University. I don't know if that was shots or if that was fireworks.
Whatever's following next after this isn't good. Hate speech, anti-Semitism, all this crazy stuff is gonna be they're gonna be on it now. This is literally what they needed. They gave them what they needed. Or if not that, they're gonna be throwing in some crazy laws just so things like this could never happen again. This video was pretty disturbing, and my bad for showing it on the last clip. It kind of caught some of you guys off guard. Maybe it didn't. Alright guys, I'm gonna go and end this video right here. If you guys did enjoy this video, let me know by leaving a thumbs up and or subscribing if you guys are new. What do you guys think about the Charlie Kirk situation? Do you think they're gonna start cracking down on anti-Semitism and hate crime against the Jewish people? Anyways, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.